Welcome to today's lesson. I am Siamasaka Krianden, so I'm going to take you through the lesson in organic chemistry. And so today we'll continue looking at natural macromolecules, and in particular we'll look at actually the formation of proteins. And so, as I said earlier on, protein are a macromolecule which actually exist in that form. And so we go straight into the lesson for today. Well, proteins actually are made from amino acids that contain the actual hydroxyl group as well as the amino group. And so the protein itself has the amide linkage, which actually is the peptide linkage, which is also found in nylon. This is very important because at times we are asked to compare the linkages which are found in fats as well as in nylon. And so typically we know that the amide linkage is found in nylon, which is similar to that one which is found in proteins. And it's also known as a peptide linkage when it's found in proteins. And so several of them, these linkages, if there are several of them, many of them, actually they form what is known as a polypeptide linkage. So several peptide linkages actually form polypeptides. Okay, so when you see actually this linkage, we should identify that's an amide linkage or a peptide linkage where we have carbon linked to oxygen with 2 bonds, and then carbon again linked to nitrogen, and nitrogen linked to actually hydrogen. So this is a peptide actually bond or an amide linkage. And so if you have, as we said, we have actually the amino acids on the side, and then inside you have the acid this side, and then here we have the amine. Okay, functional group. And so when these, if we form actually protein through the process known as condensation polymerization, we have from the hydroxyl group, we have to remove actually the hydroxyl. From the carboxyl group, we remove the hydroxyl, and from actually amine, we remove the hydrogen. That is removing water. So you continue moving water like that, and what you form actually, this carbon now will be linked to nitrogen, which gives us the amide linkage or the peptide linkage. And so you can have several of them, and these will form what's known as a polypeptide. Again, the most important thing here is to actually to identify the amide linkage or peptide linkage, which is formed as a result of condensation polymerization of an amine as well as actually the carboxyl group, which we have actually removed the hydroxyl group as well as the hydrogen from the amine. And so the hydrolysis of proteins actually characterize that we go back again to the raw material that we are used to make the proteins. And so when you hydrolyze the proteins, you actually add an acid or an enzyme, and this forms actually an amino acids. We can identify these amino acids by actually paper chromatography. So it's very important for us. So actually, we should know that actually proteins, we can break them down by an enzyme or an acid to form actually the amino acids. And so I thought this is very important, especially when we look at the structure of proteins, that it contains polypeptides and it contains the peptide linkage. And so subscribe to my YouTube so that you can continue learning all these lessons. I thank you. Now,